Alright, so I kept losing air pressure in my rear tire. I would air them up, the proper PSI, and overnight I would lose about 10 PSI, and I wasn't liking that. And this is why, where I had that bald spot kind of in the center, because this tire is getting to the point where you need to change it, and it's gotten kind of thin in here, and I ran over something. And it's a real tiny pinhole. See that? And that's how you check your tire, front and rear, to, absolutely make sure that, you don't have a puncture, which I do. And so I got a tire that came in today. Got it on Amazon. It's a Kenda, and it looks like a good tire. And it's rated for 168 miles an hour, so that should work for me. And it was like $100, so I'm gonna have to buy me another one. That's a heck of a good deal. And I'm gonna take this tire off right now, the rim, and take this whole thing off and down to Cycle Gear tomorrow. Drop it off and bring the new tire with it, and have them mount the new tire onto this rim and balance it. They charge $60 if you bring your own tire. It's not too bad, but I guess if you buy tires from Cycle Gear, they'll mount it for you for $30. But then again, their tires are probably not going to be $100. They're going to be a lot more than that. I guarantee it, even for their cheapest models. I'll find out though. I'll find out tomorrow. But you can't bring your whole bike down to Cycle Gear. They don't have an actual shop. They do tires. At least at the one the next town over from me, the guy does it there. So you got to take the whole rim off the bike, leave your bike on the bike stand, and then take the whole rim and tire down with the new tire and drop it off. So yeah, I could ride it, and I did ride it with that pinhole. I even did some wheelies, but man, you're taking a big chance, and it's getting hotter. The roads are getting hotter. I don't want to get a blowout, damage this rim. I know these rims got to be pricey, even though they're factory. It's a spin forged wheel. It's a hollow rim, so I'm guessing they're probably kind of pricey. But yeah, so you have a blowout, you could potentially damage the rim and have to get a new rim as well. Not to mention you might kill yourself. Now I do know a guy that I used to work with. He had a Harley. He was getting on it with bald tires in town in the summer one year, and his back tire blew out, and it caused him to crash at about 45 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. He got banged up pretty bad. His bike got pretty trashed. So, yeah, that's not going to be me. It sucks because it's great weather for riding right now, but I'm going to have to wait a few days to get this tire done. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Pretty much, you're going to put the bike back down. You're going to crack the axle nut here. Crack that loose. You're going to loosen up the axle nut tensioner bolts. You're going to loosen those all the way up. And then you're going to push this wheel forward. And you're going to take this chain off the rear drive sprocket and remove the tire that way. But when I get to that point, I'll show you. Okay. All right. So you're going to crack this axle nut loose. Well, it is loose. I can't do it with my fingers, but it's loose. And then I spun the wheel adjuster all the way forward for your tensioning bolt. Oh, sorry. This is your tensioning bolt for your chain. And I spun it as far forward as I could. Give me some room there. And now I'm going to pop the bike up on my spools. My bike's down there. And then I'm going to try to shove this wheel forward a little bit. Take some tension off the chain. Try to pop that chain loose off the sprocket. Yep, that's how you do it. That's how it worked for me. And you got this washer behind the axle nut. Don't lose that. Okay. And then you got your block here that kind of secures everything, secures the, you know, the rear wheel to the swing arm. You're going to pull those blocks, they're aluminum. Pull that out. Okay. It looks like it's going to swing out to the left. Okay. Because it cannot pull from the rear. This thing is, you know, you're not going to get that. It's solid there. So you're going to have to probably push this wheel off to the left there on the left side of the bike. See how I popped my chain off when I shoved that wheel all the way forward by putting these adjusters all the way in. I had it just enough. It made that chain just loose enough to pop out over the off the sprocket. Not a bad idea too when I do this to clean up that sprocket and take a look at the teeth and see how they're looking too. Anyway, so on this side, okay, let's see how, I'm gonna see here, I'm gonna put the phone down, I'm gonna see how to get this tire off here. Alright, so all I had to do was just push in with my thumb real hard on that shaft, I guess, for the wheel, and it pushed through, and now you can see this part right here. Now you can grab it and slide it, but you're probably gonna have, yeah, you're gonna have to hold that wheel up. Have an assistant help you, or use one arm, hold the wheel, and the other hand you're gonna pull this out and the wheel should come loose. Sorry I can't show you that because I'm the only one here with the camera, but yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, my wheel's off. It's pretty easy, but like a dumbass, I forgot to take the caliper off of the rotor here, and it just slips right off. But yeah, I almost kind of scratched my rim because I didn't realize, I forgot about that. Anyway, so here's your, I just kind of put it up on the fender guard there. But yeah, here's your caliper. And it'll just come right off that. At least it did for me. And there's your brake pads in there. But don't let this hang. You know, you don't want to stress out the brake lines and stuff. So kind of zip tie it, or like I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of put it up in here and balance it on the bike up inside the, there we go, just like that, on top of the plastic fender guard there for your mud and stuff. And then you're just gonna leave it on the bike stand, you know, do your thing, take your tire down to the shop, cycle gear, or wherever you want to go. You know, that's where I'm going. But and my chain, you know, just gonna hang out right here till I'm ready to put it back together. Here's that shaft. Here's the shaft I pulled out, and it's light too. It's like aluminum. The whole pipe is aluminum. I thought it would be like steel. So put your parts in one spot so you don't lose them. Put them all together. And now I'm going to show you this new tire. Okay, first off, look at my sprocket. You see how this looks? The profile of those teeth. It got like a flat spot here. You know, it's not sharp. It shouldn't be. This is still in great shape. I'm not getting any you know, bad wear on this, on the teeth of the sprocket. So we're good to go on the sprocket. Chain looks good. Like I said, I really maintenance my chain and my sprocket. But when these start getting worn, they'll actually become almost like knives. They'll get real narrow in here, and this part won't even be a flat spot no more. It'll be like sharp, like a knife blade. That's definitely, you're at the point where you definitely need to get a sprocket and obviously a chain. Okay, so like I said in an earlier video, I think my last video, the Batlax Hypersport Bridgestone that came with the from the factory on the bike. It was all right, you know. It's an okay tire, but I mean, honestly, like, it didn't last that long. Of course, I ride my bike pretty crazy, pretty fast all the time. It's just a lot of fun. But it only lasted like 3,000 miles. Look at that flat spot right in here. If you can see it or not. Well, sun's in my... Anyways, yeah, it got worn down pretty good right in the middle because, like I said, I don't do a lot of... I don't do any track riding, and I don't have time to get to the mountains, all this rain and stuff. But so I'm pretty much just riding on straight roads, so that's why I have that. You're gonna get that flat spot right in the middle. And you know, I've heard you could kind of, you know, go back and forth on the road, kind of lean and kind of zag left and right in the lane you're in, and that'll kind of help it from maybe not getting as flat, keeping it a little more round. But I don't know. I mean, I've done that, and it really didn't do a whole lot, really. But so this tire, and so this one on Amazon, this tire here, from the factory, that Bridgestone Batlax, it's like $200. This is a Kenda, and it's got the same rating as the Batlax. And right here is what you want to pay attention to when you get a tire. That letter, the W. Okay, you look that up, and it's rated for 168 miles an hour. And actually, in the description on Amazon, it did state, it didn't state miles per hour, but it stated kilometers per hour. So you got to kind of, you know, figure that out. But anyway, it's 168, so you'll be good to go with this tire on the speed. Like I said, $100. I think it's worth it, man. Even if I only get 3,000 miles like I did with this one, it's half the price. Definitely on my budget. So I'm taking this down with my tire and rim to, like I said, Cycle Gear, and I'm gonna pay them $60 to mount and balance it. Then I'll bring it back home and put it on the bike, back in business. So yeah, very important, man. Check your tires. If you're losing air, you're losing pressure, it could be from the weather, going back and forth from hot to cold, or you might have a puncture, and you don't want to be riding a bike with a punctured tire. And I've heard you could patch them, but I don't want to ride on a patched tire. No way. Not the way I ride. So that's your decision. But I mean, $100, dude, and you pay $60 to get it mounted, balanced. Plus, this tire wasn't new. I mean, if it was like brand new, man, I don't know. Maybe I might consider that. But this thing's already kind of, you know, toast. I mean, I got maybe another 600 miles on this, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get rid of it. So that's how you take the rear tire off your XSR 900 to get your tire changed. All right, so I figured out what went wrong there with the brake caliper. I didn't realize or pay attention closely enough. The main, you know, axle shaft that I was showing you, that long bolt-looking thing with threads on one end that your axle nut threads onto, that goes right through the brake caliper, and that holds the brake caliper, brake caliper where it's supposed to be. So be careful when you're holding that tire and you're sliding that axle bolt, or whatever you want to call it, shaft out. This is gonna fall, so be careful. You might want to get help doing that. So anyway, the other bikes I've had, they're not set up that way. Anyway, all right, everybody, I'm going to make a disclaimer. Even though this Kenda tire has the same speed rating, I'm not sure if it has the same temperature or, you know, rubber consistency as the stock tire, which I really like the stock tire. It performed really well. But honestly, when I kind of squish into it, I mean, they feel real similar. They feel the same consistency on the rubber. But like I said, and this is considered, I guess, in the description as a sport touring So if you're a track guy, you know, you might not want to get this tire. I'm not a track guy. I don't have a track nearby me. So I'm not going to be doing that. It's mainly I'm just commuting to work. So I'm pretty sure I'll be just fine with this. But like I said, there's the information. You guys do what you want. Okay. Don't worry, baby. We'll be back on the road soon.